Well, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Rose, and on this channel we talk about online dating, interracial dating, relocating. Those are the kinds of topics we cover here. And in today's video, we are going back to introductions. Okay, so there are these live streams that I keep seeing on TikTok where people are doing like matchmaking live streams. And people go there and introduce themselves, and then, you know, they see what happens. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is a lot of African women go there, especially Kenyan women, go there and they type something like, you know, they put their age, let's say 25, from Kenya, single and searching, caring, loving and God-fearing. It's like they read from the same. I don't know whether they see one has said that and then they all say the same. And then there's this guy, he's based in the US and he does these matchmaking live streams. And I like how he actually picks up on that, and he's like, okay, so you say you're from Kenya, you're 25, you're caring, and I don't know, those things. And then he's like, that doesn't say anything about yourself. It doesn't really say anything. Okay, and another thing is you go to a matchmaking live and then you say single and searching. If you're there because you like, why are you on a matchmaking live stream? Obviously you're there to see if you can meet new people, right? So today I would like us to focus on how to effectively introduce yourself, whether it's like on those you know, those matchmaking lives, or it's on a dating site. You know, you can, I understand that especially on those lives, you know, it's limited. There's only so much you can say because there are very few characters that you can use to type what you're saying. But I feel like there is a way you can introduce yourself without sounding like it's just a generic message that you have picked from other people, what they are saying. So because that doesn't say anything, it doesn't say who you are as a person, you know, like just announcing your age, single and searching, loving and caring and God-fearing, especially God-fearing. This is something that we have mentioned here before. People tend to get scared when they hear somebody saying God-fearing, because this is a term that is used a lot by scammers online, especially on dating sites, because we as Africans, we tend to think that if you involve God in something, like you say, oh, I'm God-fearing, I'm this, you think that people are going to think you're trustworthy just because you're saying that. But the thing is, a lot of people don't even, like these days, even myself, I don't trust people who are going about, you know, talking about, oh, I'm a woman of God, I'm a man of God, I'm God-fearing, I'm God this, God this, God this. It doesn't say anything, honestly. To be honest, it actually says that you're trying to scam somebody by saying that. Because why are you so much into, okay, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't announce your faith. If you're a Christian, of course you should let people know, and especially if you're looking to date another Christian person, of course you should say that, yes, I'm a Christian. You can say what level of Christianity you are at, because just because you're a Christian or you're claiming to be God-fearing, it doesn't mean the other person that you're gonna meet from another country that they're gonna be at the same level where you are, okay? There are people who identify as Christians, but they don't practice Christianity. There are people who identify as Muslims, but they don't actually practice Islam. Okay, so saying you're God-fearing, it doesn't say anything. Even there are people who don't even go to church and they say they are God-fearing. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to identify things that you like, okay, and things that you don't like, and you talk about that. If it's on a dating site where you have more characters, where you can describe yourself freely without worrying about your being limited, then just talk about yourself. Okay, don't talk about what you have seen somebody else say. Don't talk about, don't even talk about you know, these introductions that you see people, you know, telling you, say this, say this. I cannot tell you what to say because you are the only one who can describe yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what kind of person you are. You are the only one who knows. Okay, so just talk about yourself. Don't generalize and say caring and loving and God-fearing and all that. That doesn't say anything. Okay, so just identify things that you like and things that you don't like and describe yourself. Okay? You know, my name is Rose. I'm from Kenya. Of course, it's good to say where you're from, because if you're dating, if you want to date internationally, it's good to say where you're from so people can think, do I want to get involved with somebody from Kenya? How is it gonna work? Am I prepared for a long distance relationship? You know, so from Kenya, of course, your age is important, and don't lie about your age, because this is not Instagram, this is not TikTok, this is dating. So you have to be honest about your age. So if somebody is looking for somebody of a particular age, then they know what age, where you are. Okay, so you have to be honest. These are kinds of things that you cannot lie about, because if you lie about your age and then you're dating, and then maybe this dating progresses to something else where they will find out your real age. Anyway, although there are some people who lie about their age because they say they are not comfortable putting their real information online. Okay, maybe you can do that. Then if you get involved with somebody, you say, well, I didn't really give my real age there because I don't want people to gather information about me, but this is my age. Okay, so age, where you're from. Now, likes and dislikes. Okay, what do you like? What do you do for a living? I know a lot of ladies don't want to answer this question. And I saw another one actually who was asked, what do you do for a living? And then she said nothing. I'm like, there is no way you can say nothing, because afterwards she says, she says she sells something, I don't know, fruits or something. That is the business. Why are you saying you do nothing? You don't do nothing. Okay? If somebody asks, what do you do for a living? If you're selling something, if you're working as a cleaner or something, just say what you do for a living. That is putting food on the table, and it's honest living. Why are you lying about what you do for a living? Besides, if you say you are doing nothing, then chances are somebody will be like, okay, so you are a liability. You're gonna become a burden to me, financial burden. Like you're just sitting there doing nothing. And how do you make your ends meet if you're doing nothing? How do you get food? How do you, it doesn't make sense. You cannot say you do nothing for a living. So say what you do for a living. Say what you like. We'll talk about what you like doing for fun when you're not working. Do you like reading? Do you like traveling? Where have you traveled? Even if it's within your country. Yes, you like traveling, but you haven't been able to travel outside your country, but you've been traveling inside your country. Those are some of the things you can say. There are so many things you can say about yourself, you know. But the thing is, I feel like this introduction thing it's still difficult. It's still challenging for some people, and I don't know why. Of course, you know yourself. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You know what you do for a living. You know what you do for fun when you're not working. How can it be difficult to describe that? You also know what you want. You know what you're looking in a relationship. You know what you're looking in a man, the kind of man you would want. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it how people are getting so confused, and they're finding it so difficult to introduce themselves and to say who they are and what they do for a living. And another thing is, because this is another thing I see a lot of ladies struggle, because this has become like a trend. There are so many of these live streams, and I like just checking them out. Even if I don't go in, there's a way you can just watch them without joining. And I like watching to see the mistakes that people are making, when it comes to introductions, when it comes to talking about themselves and what they're looking for in a relationship. And what I find is that because we are trying to impress these people, especially when it's this international matchmaking thing, where you have people from different countries, you find that if a woman has been brought up to introduce herself or to say something, let's say it's a Kenyan woman, she tries so much to impress these people with English. English is not our first language. We are not native English speakers. So I feel like maybe also that plays a part in people getting all mixed up and finding it difficult to explain things, and also to introduce themselves and to talk about themselves, because you are trying so hard to get out words the way you are hearing these other Mzungus talking, but we are not them. We are Africans, we are Kenyans. So I feel like if you can just get comfortable with the way that you talk, it doesn't matter. Of course we have accents. I have an accent, you have an accent, so what? It's not our native language. That's how we speak. Okay, so as long as you can speak clearly and you can be understood, that's all that matters. You don't really have to try to mimic those other people. We are not them. Besides, our noses are not designed to speak like that. Anyway, just relax, talk about what you like, talk about yourself. Just, you know, don't try to imitate other people, how they speak. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't do you justice, because I am so sure that you are able to talk about yourself, because these are things that you know. This is you. It's not something that you have to go and research and, you know, oh, what do I do? What do I like for fun? What do I do for a living? No, it's something that is in you. So you just have to speak up. That's all you need to do. So this, again, let me remind you, God-fearing, caring, loving, it doesn't say anything about who you are as a person. Single and searching, 25 from Kenya, it doesn't say anything about who you are as a person. So talk about yourself. Okay? So anyway, I hope this video is it's gonna help someone. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, maybe you have other ideas, please leave them in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching. If you have been watching this whole video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. From all my new subscribers, I can see I am at 10K.5. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I shall see you on my next one. Bye bye for now.